like Noel Nation took this as I got cussed out about being a Gator fan. The most common thing was, would you tweet this at Florida? Why didn't you tweet this at Florida? Well, okay, here we go. Here's a couple of reasons why. Let's just get this out of the way now. One, Florida didn't make a bunch of offers on the day that I tweeted it. That's the first thing. Two, already have guys with offers at Florida. Three, and most importantly, is my guys aren't asking about Florida. Like, my guys are asking specifically about Florida State. The reasons why is pretty simple. Depth chart. Okay, there's a waiting list at Florida right now. Like, there's some dudes at Florida. That quarterback room is legit. At Florida State, if you're really damn good, you could go in there and play right away. Certainly in 22. There's a high level of interest from those guys to go to Tallahassee. I did not mean it in any slight towards the Florida State program. People are like, oh, well, you're just being petty because of Jeff Sims. Look, Captain, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Like, Jeff ended up in a great situation. He had a great year. He's down here throwing, looks amazing. Like, why would I be bitter about that? I'm not the one who didn't tell Jeff not to go to Florida State. I don't give a damn where any of these kids go. Y'all listen to that like really well, because that's the difference in me and all of you guys tweeting at me. I don't care about your school. I don't care about Florida. I don't care about Miami. I don't care about Georgia. I care about our dudes going somewhere, having a blast, balling, and then going and getting paid. If you think I give a damn about the Garnet and Gold, then you're freaking mistaken, and I don't have time to answer your questions. I'm too busy developing dogs at this level, which you've never done in your freaking life, so keep it moving. It's really that simple. Like if you really think that I was sitting up at night going, oh, how can I piss off some FSU Esquire guy? Like, I don't even know who you are. I didn't even know you existed. I'm sorry you took this personal. You may be a great dude. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, sir. Fine, sir. What? Why would you tweet me? And then a dude tweets me, oh, this guy is just trying to take money from kids. Well, you know what? Bump you. Come over to my house right now. I'll give you the COVID. I say that like I don't like you as a person, and I don't know you because you made a rush judgment on me who you don't know. And let me let you in a little secret. I'm sold out as long as I want to be. I don't need these kids' money. Okay, you have no idea what I do for money. You have no clue what I charge, who I charge, how I charge, or whatever. Just because your kid, who I don't even know if you've got a kid, but just because your kid has to pay a premium to go somewhere because that guy's screwing you and the way he's training your kid doesn't mean that I'm that same guy. All right, so you don't know me. So if you want to come attack my character, like, that's where I'm going to draw the line. If I would have tweeted this out and it would have been about Florida, James, if I would have said, hey, Florida offered some dudes and I've got some guys that would like to go there, then Florida State fans would have been all over me because they'd have been like, oh, Denny's just trying to push guys to Florida. It's like, y'all really are reaching like that? And the funny thing is, like, I got this a ton. Oh, well, that's not going to help your case. Oh, okay. Well, it did. Okay, I can't say anything more, but it did. All right, I know what I'm doing. And it was never a slight towards Kenny Dillingham. It was never a slight towards Mike Norvell. If you listen to this show, I have been talking about Mike Norvell as long as I've been talking about Kyler Murray and Trevor Lawrence. Like, I have been talking about him. I wanted Florida to hire him. I am a huge Mike Norvell guy. You have no clue what you're talking about. So that's pretty much it, James.
Okay.
Are you still sweating?
Can you breathe? Like, did that get the sweat out? It was,
no, I'm good. It's just like, don't DM me. If I don't know you and I've never talked to you, don't DM me. So I got nothing to say to you.
You would say that your DMs were popping?
Yeah, they were. I've changed it now. They won't be anymore.
Well, what I did was I tried to explain it to a bunch of people because I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is what I've been talking to a bunch of recruits, because a lot of what FSU fans don't know based upon what, well, I'm trying to, how I can preface. I should bump it. People only know what their education level tells them, and they get their information from message boards and other people on social media. And so the cool thing about social media is that as long as you have a stance and you're secure and you're strong in your point, you can have the most outrageous, dumb point that you want, and people will believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the right person retweets you once or follows you, you are now an expert. Perfect example is, again, one of those relationships that I've developed. Great guy. His name is Big Noel. He's big. Yeah, he's Diesel. He's a large guy.
Mm-hmm.
He goes up and he always tweets the most random thing because he knows it pushes a button for a certain segment of the society. So when everybody was like, Mike is this disciplinarian, he's like, yeah, I just got told that they were at period 14 and Mike got mad and he restarted the whole practice and made him begin from the warm-up. Actually, he made him go to the locker room and jog back out. See, that's why Mike is better than Willie Taggart. Without people even like realizing that that's not legal. Like, you only get 20 hours during the week no matter what. Like, why would you burn like those precious hours to try to make a point like that? He'll put like, Mike told them that he's upping it from the earrings and hoodies. He's making them actually use forks and knives, and they got to be placed the right way before they eat at the dinner table. That's what I'm talking about. So it's the attention to detail. That's why we like Miguel Blanco. Stuff like that. And he does it. It is completely a trope. And then when I tell you, it gets him every time. They fall for it every time. And I'll just retweet. I'll call him, you're a terrorist. Like, why do you do the things that you do? Like, why? Or one of the pervasive rumors, and you know this guy, because we actually had the first son talk about his commitment to Miami on our show. You know Bradley Jennings, right?
Mm-hmm.
AKA Monster.
Mm-hmm.
There is a rumor that James Coleman, convinced Bradley Jennings' son to decommit from Florida State to go to Michigan. Like, I can convince Bradley Jennings to do anything.
Yeah,
they call him Monster for a reason.
Yeah. There's one dude like that dude right there. I'm not. He can have whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I know him well enough. Like that's nope.
When I found out that
wherever you think your son needs to go to school, I agree.
Dude, when I found out that it might happen, I was just randomly at Dick's Sporting Goods, just buying some gray sweatpants. It was getting that time of year, and he was there. He's a friend of mine. Hey, what's up? Random conversation, and then that conversation turned. You know how you just really, I was really just saying hi, and I was happy that we're getting a legacy. I didn't know it was going to turn into that, and that was the last. Actually, I think that's the last time I talked to Bradley. But I was not like, I don't care. Like what you said, from having done this for so long, from the training industry, I really don't care where a kid goes, but I will make sure a kid understands what they're getting into.
Yes.
If they're coming to Florida State.
Well, this is where like this platform's a little weird for us. There's a couple instances, especially for me right now, where this radio show, if I'm being honest, kind of gets in the way a little bit. I mean, obviously talking, quarterbacks, talking Gardner Minshew, talking some of the stuff that we have to talk about. It's a little awkward at times. This is a big one though, James, because we do know, especially right now, so many of the intricacies of recruiting during this whole COVID time. And it has to be different. And we know like some inside information about what coaches are doing with their rosters and some of the things that are unprecedented, like that has never happened before. And it is not our place to go and tell the inside business of the industry. It's not what our show's about. We're not journalists like that. Right. And we're not trying to get a scoop. And the minute we did that is the minute that we would lose whatever advantage or relationship that we've worked really hard to build. And those people trust us. Like I had conversations with people in Tallahassee today that on Twitter, they think they hate me. Man, we spoke for an hour and we had a blast and we laughed about it. And it was like, he's reading some of the comments to me. And it's just, it's like that. There's a level of trust. We talk about Ron Dugans all the time. Neither one of us will say a bad thing about Ron Dugans for multiple reasons. One, he trusts us. Two, we like him. And three, we know he listens and is ready to size us up at any time.
Facts.
Like he's already said that. So there does become this little conflict of interest. But at the end of the day, and I'm not getting on to like Hayes Carline or Frank Frangieri, they are legit Gator fans. Like they bleed orange and blue. Rick Ballou is a legit Florida State fan. You played at Florida State, so I would even put you in that same era. But I'm not, like, I didn't go to Florida. I was a Florida fan. I pull for Florida. But if the Florida game is on until Anthony Richardson's the starter, if the Florida game's on and the Georgia Tech game's on, I'm dialed into Georgia Tech. And when Jeff Sims committed to Florida State, I was in Tallahassee wearing garnet and gold. Like I don't care enough to ever. And let me one more thing, and one more thing, then we can get off this. This world is so full of guys, and James, back me up on this. When I say guys, I mean trainers, influencers, 707 coaches, even some high school coaches, even though they're the real hero in this stuff. Like this world's full of guys that always ask for stuff from colleges, whether it's a bag or whether it's like, hey, I'm gonna fan you this kid, but I need you to take this kid, or special tickets or trips or anything like that. I legit don't. I won't take. I've never even taken a T-shirt from a school. Never. And there's a reason behind that. It's called integrity. Like, I just don't want to get into that world. Everybody jokes about me taking bags and Quincy Avery taking bags. Neither one of us have taken a first penny from any school. But I found it funny that FSU fans were like, "Oh, well, you don't want your guy. I don't want my school recruiting guys that come from this guy. This is a bad guy." Man, what the F you talking about? Like, you don't have a clue what you're talking about. You don't have a clue, and I'm not talking about Mike Norvell. You don't have a clue what goes on in the NCAA and who your school is taking and how they're taking them, and you don't want to know. You don't want to know, so don't even try to bring that energy on me.
So basically, what you're saying is a lot of times you just want to eat the food. You don't necessarily need to see the kitchen. Just enjoy yourself as a fan.
It's like church.
But
it's like church.
Yeah, you definitely, yes. Trust me.
Just pull for your team.
And a lot of the stuff just comes from people. Really, people say they don't want to hear about politics in sports, right? And the problem is that you've treated sports like you treat your politics. You have and it comes from one side having to win. But a lot of times it's deeper than that. You can it's okay to like a Hurricane fan. It's okay to be okay with a Gator fan. Some of this stuff is fine. Some people actually can be professionals about their job. Like you said, I'm an FSU alum. I'm not a fan. I'm an alum.
Right.
I graduated from there. I played there. I scored in both those end zones. But I'm also a professional. So I can talk about Kyle Trask. I can talk about how I think Dan Mullen's a good coach. I can talk about different things. I can also, with the utmost sincerity, report on a credit card scandal that I broke. I can report about them firing a coach. For half of our show, we were good at FSU. And I did it with a smile on my face. And Denny can attest to that.
Yep.
We're not good now. It pains me, but I think I've been so FSU fans don't understand that. I'm not mad at any of those guys. I'm mad at 3-6. If we were 6-3, the conversation would be different. But we're 3-6. I don't care about the damn excuses.
And how many times have I come in and trolled you as a Florida fan?
It happens. That's part of why the show is good.
But so rarely, if we're off air, do I ever say anything I'm not, again, I'm making fun, I'm not a hacker where it's it dominates our conversation. I don't live in the misery that is pulling for people to lose. I just don't.
No. And even when the Anthony Richardson situation was going on, where it seemed like he was committed, because you didn't have him when he was committed the first time. You got him after he decommitted.
You just got him. I just got him, and then he decommitted right after I started working with him.
So, this is what I've told people. I was like, if Denny's been trashed and roasted by Gator people, and again, when we talk about fans who have made themselves into something through Twitter, a guy who actually has damn near the same initials as Denny called him just some quarterback guy on a popular podcast that they have, and he's more than that. But that's because they thought that they were getting another one of Denny's guys, and Carson Beck, and then Denny took the bag from Georgia, and Carson went to Georgia. So they say, but a lot of the stuff is more so. I say you're. I told people this. Everybody has a job to do. Denny's job outside of sportsden, which has no allegiance, is the owner of 6 Points Quarterback Academy. I told them point blank, straight up. I don't know all the other kids, but I know there's one kid who wants to be a Seminole, who they send edits to damn near every week. They talk to. And the kid was even in my DMs.
Yeah. Who's legit.
that doesn't have an offer. I said that's his job.
Doesn't have an offer to FSU.
To
has
FSU,
offers.
excuse me. Has offers, but doesn't have a job to FSU. But there's clearly an interest.
Right.
It's his job to get answers, and if that's the way he gets answers, then that's right. And everybody's like, well, that's not the right way. That's lame. That's this. I said, watch this. I bet something comes out of it. And that's where people have to understand. I tell people this with their bank accounts too. Don't judge. Don't try to understand 6-7 figure decisions when you only make low fives. You don't pay enough in taxes to understand that lifestyle. You understand your world based upon where you are at. You've never been, you may be Twitter famous with your couple hundred friends, but you've never experienced a level of superstardom or even been around guys who are going to be that next person. Like, you don't get it. So how you should move is how a peon should move. And you should respect where you're at.
Well, to your point, like the people that I talked to in Tallahassee, and I'm not going to say who it was. Like again, this relationships. The first thing I said to them was, okay, I don't know how that came out. I didn't mean it in a negative way for Florida State fans, and they laughed and like we didn't take it in that way. And the very next sentence was, all right, let's get this worked out. And we did. And we got it completely worked out. And it ended up just being one of those things where there was a communication gap. We're all good. Y'all have no idea the amount of information that I've sent to Tallahassee today. And it's like, and it'll continue. And I put them on a couple of guys that they didn't know that they're going to love, some younger guys that I don't even train, because I get to see these guys throughout camps all over the country. So there's guys that major universities, and I'm working a camp in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, and on the East Coast, these guys haven't seen them yet. And so I'll fire off a text or I'll send some video and be like, yo, you need to get on this California dude. And they'll offer him. And like, that's it's not just about the kids that I train. It's about being able to be trusted at the highest of levels, college, NFL levels, that whenever I say this kid can play at your level, that they don't even question it. That's why I don't give them bad names. I don't give them dudes that can't play. Because you train with me doesn't mean I'm going to recommend your kid to Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, or any of those. I'm only going to recommend them to where they actually fit. And if they've got an offer that's higher than where they fit, I'm going to be brutally honest and go, you're never going to play there. That's how this whole thing works. I didn't know that when I first got into it, but now 12 years later, that's where we're at.
Oh, well, that was Denny's interesting spat with FSU Twitter. Now all Big Three Twitter hates Denny.
I know, right?
In some capacity.
Manny and I are making up right now too.
You said who?
Manny and I we're on good terms again.
Manny Diaz looks like a crooked youth pastor.
We were on good terms
through Bud Light Lamaritas. Cheers, eh? Well, we got to take a break. It's Monday, so we got to get Doc in to talk about injuries. If you have any injuries or any weekend warrior issues that you want to get some free medical advice on, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. We're back up now, or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure 641-1010. Make sure you hit all those different mediums. Or if you got some injuries that have happened with your favorite sports teams and we need to get some information on it, we will have Dr. Chris Swanson on here on the next break.
I'm Hayes Carline. Get news, rumors, and my opinions on your favorite team as they roll through the regular season. Find my blog at 1010xl.com. Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing.
Hey, this is Coach Driscoll from UNF Men's Basketball. Our athletic department uses Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for our student athletes. If you want your kids to be treated like the pros, we highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Swoop!
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Every day, 3,000 kids come through Boys and Girls Club doors across Greater Jacksonville. Michael Hugh here, chairman of Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. As we kick off the new year, we ask your help to create great futures for kids who need us most. Our clubs provide a place for our city's kids to belong, enhancing their lives with quality programs and a positive environment. So visit Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida at bgcnf.org to learn how you can help create great futures.
Mike Dempsey here. Those fresh baked sausage and biscuits from Dandy are back, and they're better than ever. Perfect for a warm start on a chilly morning. You'll find Dandy items at Circle K and other fine convenience stores all over town. And don't forget the mustard, an absolute must on this one. Put it in the microwave for a minute, and you're 60 seconds away from deliciousness. I got to warn you, though, they are addicting, but in a good way. So it's okay. Start your new habit. That's breakfast with Dandy.
Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah.
This is Coach Ellen Darley with Darley's Plumbing. Now, I've seen plenty of guys who want to tackle their own plumbing work, and sure, some can. But when the backups just don't make the cut, you need the starting team at Darley's Plumbing. We do it all, any large or small plumbing jobs. Plus, we have 24-hour emergency service, so we'll be there when you need us. When your home field needs plumbing work, bring in the all-pros at Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. Find us online at darleysplumbing.com. License number CFC 056702.
This is Hayes Carline for Harrell and Harrell. I've known Holt and Julie Harrell for almost 25 years. Holt and I go back to high school football two-a-days. They're good people, and they work hard for their clients. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 251-1111.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 28, 1958, the Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants met in the NFL championship game, which is better known as the greatest game ever played.
This is Hayes Carline for Spickelmeyer Insurance Agency. John Spickelmeyer knows about protection, is the best offensive lineman to ever come out of Jacksonville. He's always taken that O-line pride in his protection, from being the city's player of the year at Bowls to playing for Notre Dame. John has always gotten the job done for those who depend on him, and he'll do that for you, like he has me. John Spickelmeyer is my agent. Call John today at 471-7155 for all your insurance needs. That's Spickelmeyer Insurance Agency, protecting what's most important to you. Call John today at 471-7155.
Ackerman Urology gives you the home field advantage. Don't trust your sexual health to the internet. Our local urologists treat prostate disease and sexual health issues to ensure your confidence and wellness. Don't ignore symptoms that hold you back. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Bid finish event.
Take advantage of employee pricing for all and save like never before on the car, truck, or SUV you'd rather be driving. It's at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows.
Drive a brand new Jeep Wrangler Unlimited from only $269 a month.
How about a Grand Cherokee or Dodge Challenger from just $289 a month?
Just $289.
For the third year in a row, Ram is the truck of the year. Call ahead for a test drive, and we'll have your next new Ram ready and waiting for you when you get here.
Get 0%.
Make no payments for 90 days and save up to $11,000 off MSRP. Don't wait for a better deal.
This is it.
See our inventory at jaxcjdr.com. Our lenders want to make you a new car loan today. Get more for your trade and lower your monthly payments. Happy holidays from all of us at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist presents Dr. Chris Swanson on the Sports Den. A board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, Dr. Swanson has been assistant team physician for the Cincinnati Bengals and Drexel University men's basketball, and is the current team physician for several area high schools. Visit se-ortho.com.
It's Monday, so we got to talk injuries with Dr. Chris Swanson. I'm going to come out the gate with the most important one, so Denny's going to have to hold on. If we cut Trevor Lawrence's hair, will he lose his magical powers?
Probably.
Okay, so don't cut his hair and just wrap him in bubble wrap.
That's right.
So it's confirmed. It's confirmed that's where the powers come from. I don't think he's cutting his hair. I told my story last week about him in like 11th grade telling me the story of why the hair is. We'll get to that another time. But Doc, did you hear the news that the COVID has got me?
I didn't hear that. No.
Yes. I have fallen victim.
Man, how you
JJ
feeling?
and I, and right now it's not too bad. Earlier, like it felt like my whole body was on fire and my eyes were going to pop out of my head. But I am comforted by the fact that about a week from now, JJ and I can go get matching Survivor tattoos.
I'm down for that.
Wow.
Were you not being safe, Denny? Were you not wearing a mask? How dare you?
Here's the thing. It's so funny because the the first thought that goes through your mind, like, because I'm around so many people with work, is like, okay, who in the heck did I get this to? Where did I get it? When did I get it? And then you realize, like, 30 minutes in, Doc, that's an impossible, like, rhyme to figure out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like you said, I mean, you're around so many kids and they're at school or playing games and everything. It's a big tree.
Yeah, it's like there's so many people that are walking around right now with it, that the minute you start to try to figure that stuff out, you quickly realize, yeah, this isn't going anywhere at
When did
all.
you start feeling sick?
Actually, this morning, I found out that I was exposed to it yesterday, and then so I went ahead and scheduled an appointment to get a rapid testing, and but knew when I went in. I felt it this morning, and then right after I got tested, it got a good bit worse. But the interesting thing is, like, I tested positive, both of my sons tested positive, but my wife tested negative.
Huh.
And all of them feel fine.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's really not that crazy. It's probably
It's
the
not?
opposite of crazy. That like everyone in America has this.
No. What I'm saying is
No,
Angie testing negative.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Like, it's all
3 or 4 people in the same house positive and one
So
negative.
now I can't use that joke anymore that I was using, like, on the politicians when this first started. Like, how are all the wives getting it?
Oh,
The
yeah.
politicians are getting it. Like something's
Well,
going
I
on
don't want
here.
to I don't want to violate HIPAA laws for people that are not like I don't want to violate other members of my family's HIPAA laws. But we're not the only family like that in my family. Like, there's other people that one has it, the other one doesn't.
Right, I have some friends, same scenario. People who had it, whose husbands or wives didn't get it, even though they were exposed like the entire time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Any real injuries? Anything like bad happen? Like,
How about this one? What if
way to cue Doc up.
the absolute worst case scenario happens in this semifinal game
Don't
or
talk
the
about
final game? I'm just gonna bring it up. Hypothetically,
You're gonna be this guy.
If Trevor tears an ACL,
What are you doing?
How long until he would? Because we would still obviously take him number 1.
6 weeks, 6 months, right?
So would he be able to play at all next year? Or
Next question. Next question.
That's wise.
We're on to Cincinnati.
That's wise.
We
JJ, I can't believe you.
We can't even talk about that.
For
man.
real,
Come on.
though.
This is like the best week in Jacksonville sports history. Right?
Okay, then let's rephrase
Just
it then.
preparing for the
Let's
worst.
hypothetically say that one of these kids in the semifinal or final game were.
Boom. Nice. Any
That's
player.
how this should have happened. But we have one of them were to tear an ACL. Nowadays, I mean, back by the start of training camp's not impossible, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you're looking. It really can't be much sooner than 6 months, but it's reasonable right around 6 months. So, you'd be talking about early August would be kind of the quickest you could possibly be back playing competitive football.
What the Gators found out today that they had a couple of opt-outs, which we alluded to a couple nights ago on the Sports Den, and we talked about this last week, Doc, about these opt-outs being more than just about potential injury in a bowl game, and it being something about, let me get some relaxation, some downtime, some recovery before I hop into this 8-month process that is the draft and mini camps and training camp and all that kind of stuff. Well, I think we're seeing that more and more and more and more now, and I'm almost shocked that there's anybody with a draft grade is actually playing in bowl games outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think we're probably heading in that direction eventually, where if you're not in the Final Four, if they expand it at some point, if you're not one of those final teams actually playing for a national championship and you're a top 3-4 round pick, the people are just going to pack it in sooner and sooner to start that training process, because picking up improving your 40 speed by a tenth or two of a second is going to have a bigger impact on your draft position than playing in one game a month after the season.
We talk about the off season that these guys have. If you look at the ACC, the SEC, the guys who started their season somewhat at a normal time, they actually, when you go back and look at this, and James, tell me if I'm wrong on this, they actually have been practicing longer than what they would have in regular times because they made up for the spring practices. They went back to school a little bit early. They were in meetings, all that kind of stuff. The wear and tear on these teams, like, Alabama, who's played 11 games, but have practiced realistically for closer to 18, 19, 20 weeks now. And they still have 2 more weeks. Are they more likely to sustain injury than Ohio State, who didn't start practice till mid-October or early October and have only played 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly Ohio State has got to be a little bit fresher than some of these teams that have been going at it since the summertime. And so, they've taken less wear on their bodies throughout the entire course of the season. So I think from that standpoint, they should have fresh legs. It should be, the rigors of the football season. If you cut it in half, your body's got to feel a little bit better than it does, when you've been getting beaten on it for 15 to 20 weeks.
Right. And the other thing that they were able to do is actually have an off-season conditioning program. So whereas the SEC and the ACC schools got an opportunity to essentially make up their spring with the practices, they just didn't have that downtime for guys to get healthy, to be up for the freshmen to be able to lift weights, get in a proper meal program, things of that nature. Whereas the Big Ten schools were able to have guys come in and at least lift. Like, they weren't just home during their little break. So it's a difference when you're like lifting weights and recovering is a lot different than actually running full speed and clanking on each other.
Right.
What do you guys think? I'm curious about both of y'all. What do y'all think the greater risk of injury is? Is it practice or is it a game? Knowing that there's 7 times more practices than there are games, like where do most of the injuries occur?
I'd say games, because there's, even in practice, there's the friendly fire part. Like, there's that, like, all right, I kind of know you. There's deals made. Like, don't get into it. No matter how hard everybody says or intense their practices were, there are times when you just don't feel like knocking each other out. Like, you guys figure something out. In a game, that person doesn't care about you. Like, they're trying to annihilate you for the most part. So the true ones versus ones, the 100% versus 100% really goes, because even in practice you can tweak it to where it's ones versus two, so it's good on less good. Nobody goes good on good the entire time.
I've always been curious, Doc, about. Go ahead.
I was going to say, don't you think, James, that I mean, they've changed the rules on practices so much in the last 15 or 20 years that the practices today are a lot different than they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, and then when you try to get guys back to the quote unquote old school ways, these kids ain't done that. That just does more harm than good.
Well, people also are learning how to practice.
The Oklahoma drill is the thing of the past.
Still happens at Miami.
Yeah, with quarterbacks. Yeah, but I also think, Doc, that kids are learning how to practice at an earlier age now, because it used to be that the first, 4 weeks in college, you actually learned what upper thud was, and you actually learned the pace of practice. Now, a lot of high schools are a little bit less physical too, but I'm curious. We've all been, and Doc, you guys cover games, you cover practices as doctors. The warm-ups and the stretches, I've always thought this was funny, are much more detailed before a game than they are at practice. So, why is that? Because you're using the same muscles. Like your soft tissues, you're at the same risk of a soft tissue injury in practice as you are a game. So why would you be more detailed in the games? And that's where I was going with the practice question is, are there more pulled hammies in those days? Are there more, torn ACLs, type of things like that, because of sheer volume, and also the lack of really a functional warm up like you have in a game day where every single minute is scripted out for the whole day?
I think there's a fair amount of those soft tissue injuries. I think there's probably less of sort of the major or the big injuries that we talk about, like the ACLs and the ankle fractures and dislocations. I think you see a lot more of those during the heavy contact of a game, but those soft tissue things, they show up a lot in practice, and it may be somewhat related to the fact that the warm-ups aren't quite as scripted. I think, especially when you get down to the high school level, that at practice, people kind of tend to walk out of the locker room and just head out onto the practice field, where it's a little bit more organized on game day, which can certainly have an effect on those soft tissue things like hamstrings.
James, did you ever question that? Did you ever question like why you would go to a practice at Florida State and your warm up consisted of like a pre-practice and your coach joking around with you, and it was like, okay, let's get it. But then in a game, they had like a whole 70-minute, every single second of it scripted out on how we're going to warm up. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but I still, even to this day, with the stuff that I know, I just looked at it as pomp and circumstance.
Like, the pregame stuff?
Yeah, that's just really like, because here's pregame. Let's talk about that. And Doc, you can tell me if I'm wrong on it. You do.
Can we just describe stretching and warming up as pomp and circumstance?
Well, no, but here's why I say that, Doc, because you do all of this stuff. So college is not on the field for the national anthem and for all those stuff. You do all that warming up to go in the locker room to sit down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. What's the purpose? Now, at least in practice, when you're doing your pre-practice stuff and your ABCs and whatever, they'll make you touch your toes. You'll jog around. None of this is really intense. And then you got 15 to 20 minutes of what we call flex. And like that, then you go right into practice. Like the game, like I'm warmed up and then I get cold. So like now I got to warm up again. And then what's worse is you've done all this high level of practice and playing. Then what happens? They give you a 15-minute halftime. And you talk about unorganized. I have yet to see any college or pro team truly have a well-organized after halftime stretch. It's literally everybody line up on the goal line, blow the whistle, butt kicks, high knees, Frankensteins, maybe some scoops, couple lunges. All right, get out of there. Go talk to your coach. Like it's nothing really, because you don't have enough time, to be honest with you. But that's my only.
You gotta be tight after halftime. I mean, there's just no way. You're exactly right. I mean,
you're already getting sore, like all that stuff.
That's why I took copious amounts of caffeine. So that I was just amped up, man. I couldn't. I didn't go to sleep.
Doc's not going to co-sign on that.
Well, yeah,
OSTARINE.
Doc can't co-sign on that. Like, I wouldn't expect him to do that. But that's why I might not have gone to sleep until 5 p.m. the next day. But I was able to get through a game.
Doc, everything good for Christmas? Everything y'all are. What are your hours heading into New Year's at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists?
So we're open. We're open. Normal hours today. We're open normal hours tomorrow and Wednesday, and then the offices are closed Thursday and Friday for New Year's. And then starting on Monday the 4th, we'll be back at regular Monday through Friday hours.
Okay. And so everybody, it's too late now. Like if you had planned to get in there and take advantage of some year-end insurance benefit, like it's a little bit late now, but start the new year off right. You don't need to go into 2021 still nursing that same knee injury or shoulder injury. Dr. Chris Swanson is the best of the best at what he does with knees and shoulders. I go there. You guys should go there as well. We highly recommend Dr. Swanson and Southeast Orthopedic to all of our quarterbacks at 6 points. You guys definitely should take advantage of that. I'm a walking testament to I should have gone in there much, much earlier, and I would have complained a lot less in my life about getting old. Is that a true statement, Doc?
Man, that is a true statement. I got to tell you, I haven't heard anything about your knee in a long time. So,
Nothing.
It's true.
Yeah. And I'm even doing things like from a workout perspective, I'm doing things that I physically could not do, 3 or 4 years ago, and there was no surgery involved. I'm telling you guys, get to Doc Swanson. He's a magician. You're going to love him. You're going to love the staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Make that your New Year's resolution. Doc, appreciate it as always, man. Sorry to be a little bit a segment late, but we really appreciate it.
All right, guys, take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
All right. Well, that was Doc Swanson with Southeast Orthopedic. We'll be back with the world famous 8 o'clock.
I thought early on we did some good things. Lennon drops toward the end zone, wants DJ Chark. DJ goes up and gets it. That's going to be a touchdown. Chark attack in the corner of the end zone. So we got the turnover. It is picked off by Joe Schobert in the end zone, and the Jags turn away the Chicago Bears. But I thought we were making some throws there. Fires deep downfield toward the end zone. This ball is caught for the touchdown. LaVisca Chenault, hasta La Visca. We got one more game left. The way I look at it is we've got ourselves a game starting in 2021, so let's just change this thing.
Next up, Indianapolis, Sunday at 4:25 on 1010XL.
Baloo here for NASCAR. Just go to NASCARs.com for a new or pre-owned golf cart. They have a mobile service. Come by, give you a brand new battery. You can upgrade your ride. They're open and available with a 24-hour service. Customize your cart. Favorite team, Jags, Gators, Knowles. Family-owned. Visit NASCARs and allow our design team to build your dream cart. Visit NASCARs.com for new or used golf cart repair and replacements. NASCARTS.com.
With High Life IPA, Cigar City Brewing introduced bold tropical character to Florida craft beer. Now it's bringing those same qualities to a full-flavored, lower-bodied beer with High Low IPA, an ale that delivers vibrant hop qualities in a 4% alcohol, 120-calorie package. Whether you're aiming high or laying low, Cigar City Brewing's hop-forward creations add tropical dimension to any occasion. To find out more, visit cigarcitybrewing.com. Cigar City Brewing, Tampa, Florida. Please enjoy responsibly.
Learn the secrets to bring your A game on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Yeah, well, you really crushed that ball off the tee, I'll tell you what.
Learn the latest on new equipment from all the major manufacturers on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Big Chief Tire. Your family's safety is important to the experts at Big Chief Tire. Don't let your vehicle's needs become out of sight and out of mind. Big Chief Tire's trusted team of experienced technicians will provide a free estimate after a vehicle inspection, so you can get back on the road and drive with confidence at a price that suits your budget. Verify your vehicle's safety before you get behind the wheel. Visit any of their 4 convenient Jacksonville locations or schedule an appointment by visiting BigChiefService.com.
Looking for that holiday pet that won't destroy your home? Ocean Reef Pets has salt and freshwater tanks from first tank to expert, and is the largest shop in Northeast Florida with the largest selection. Ocean Reef Pets in Neptune Beach. OceanReefPets.com.
Regain your edge. The board-certified surgeons of OrthoEdge are practicing at St. Vincent's Riverside.
Hi, I'm Dr. Longnecker. If you have a sports injury or if you have knee, hip, or shoulder pain, let us at OrthoEdge help you regain your edge. We want you to get back to living life to your best. And we have patient-focused experience and technology to deliver the results. See one of our physicians today at OrthoEdge.
Now accepting new patients, visit OrthoEdge.com.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. As you're searching for logo safety items like hand sanitizers, face masks, and shields, remember Hardball Creative online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
All offers with approved credit and not a conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Big Finish event.
Think how great it'll feel when you pull up to the house knowing you got the deal of the year on a brand new car, truck, or SUV from your friends at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Drive home happy in a new 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited from just $269 a month. How about a brand new Grand Cherokee from only $289 a month? Take advantage of employee pricing plus and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on a brand new Ram 1500 Crew Cab. $11,000. Get 0% financing. Make no payments for 90 days. Save up to $4,000 on Dodge Journey. Get up to $5,000 off a new Jeep Compass. Call ahead for a test drive and we'll have the vehicle of your choice ready and waiting when you get here. Can't make it in? We'll bring the test drive to you. See our inventory at #1CJD.com. Choose from the best selection and save. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, 9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from the Regency Square Mall.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
You mad, bro?
1010XL 92.5 FM. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
Open up your heart and let that hate out.
Gotta let it breathe. Gotta let it breathe. Such a beautiful day. Gotta let your hate out, though, so that you can enjoy the rest of it. Every day that we're on, we bring you Hate O'Clock, where you can just say how you feel. You can text us on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. Text in, call in, whatever you got. Hate o'clock. What you got, Denny?
Oh, I kind of let mine out earlier, man. Like, I'm good. I'm feeling free from all hate right now. Like, I'm perfectly good. I mean, it's like I've never had a notification day on Twitter like I have. We can get to that a little bit later. This has been insane. Like, I was just actually looking at like the analytics of it, and it's like mind-boggling how fast something can spread through social media,
especially when it's negative.
You know, I will tell you one little hate o'clock. I don't like the narrative on this Dwayne Haskins thing. I think it's a little weird that they cut him today, and I think if you read further into the reason why the Washington football team cut Dwayne Haskins was, one, because he's not any good. That's the first thing. But two was I would imagine by doing it now, they can probably justify some of the signing bonus they're going to come after for his I don't know, COVID behavior and some of the other, issues they've had with him. But I think it's really interesting to listen, because all I've been able to do today is watch TV, is to listen to some of the narrative behind this Dwayne Haskins thing. If he's not any good, that's one thing. And if we talked about his whole adventure last week, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't go to a strip club.
Birthday party with strippers.
Yeah, his wife's birthday party, like was the thing, which I don't know if that's any better, but in my mind it is. If he was such a bad person, they wouldn't have started him this week, would they?
No.
So it's while I have this whole turd to talent index, and I can't stand turds in sports, I don't look at Dwayne Haskins like that. I look at Dwayne Haskins as a guy who grew up in the Washington area. It probably wasn't the best idea to go back to where he grew up from to play NFL football and get millions of dollars. And I'd like to see him get another chance. And I'm not saying he's going to be a star. He may not even be a starter. But I don't think he's going to go the way of a lot of these guys where we never actually hear. I don't think he's Ryan Leaf.
What about Josh Rosen, who just disappears into oblivion and he's on his 12th team already?
He's with San Francisco now.
And I'm okay with that. If you're not any good, that's fine. Good. You're not going to play in this league. They don't pay people who stink. But we haven't heard Josh Rosen. Some of the stuff that people are saying about Dwayne Haskins is wow. I mean, I know my boy Quincy, who works with him, is losing his mind on Twitter right now about this stuff. But am I missing? Y'all tell me, am I missing something on Dwayne Haskins? Does he have a rap sheet?
No, I think he's just terrible.
Right.
I think there is no redeemable nothing with him. And so they were just let's just cut bait now.
Which I think is absolutely fine to say. If somebody said, hey, they cut Dwayne Haskins because he sucked, it'd be okay, well, I can't argue that picture. But, bro, you would think the way some of these nationals are talking, this guy has a domestic violence charge.
He murdered someone.
The worst thing that he's done, actually, even before this, it was one of the groups I was in on Facebook, and they were talking about, how dare him? He's just entitled, stupid athletes. And to preface this, I know nobody. These were black people. Normally you hear from other people. I'm what did he do? They're he went to this strip club. I'm so we're mad at him for going to a strip club?
Yeah, there was lots of strip club shaming last week.
And I'm
with Harden as well.
It's those are probably.
Who was the other guy?
Harden, remember?
No, it wasn't Harden. It was the other NBA guy who went to the funeral.
Oh, that
Lou
was
Williams?
Yeah, that was
back
earlier.
in the bubble, yes. That he got the chicken wings from the adult establishment.
It just depends. I think a lot of people have really bad experiences with strip clubs, or really bad an idea.
Bro, that was dumb though. You're literally left a bubble.
I get that part. He went to Magic City, which does have good food, by the way,
and they're named after him. Those wings were named after him.
And you do it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get a good, solid chicken wing order ready. So, that's time to kill two birds with one stone. I'm not suggesting that, but those are probably, I guess the best way to think about it is like this. Most people wouldn't want to be with an adult an adult educational star, right? But based upon what their job requirements are, you know if they're clean or not because they have to frequently get tested. Said lady that you might have met at the club or even at church that you don't know about her background and things that she done, you have no idea. You're walking by faith.
She's got COVID, chlamydia, and the clap all at the same time. But you're worried about the adult
she knows,
educational.
Exactly, but she knows Psalms 31. So what you got to do is take a step back. A lot of these high end ones like Magic City are really, really clean. I promise.
I don't like that you're insinuating that adult entertainers don't know Psalm 31.
They might.
Okay.
I was just saying.
We're generalizing.
That's
what you got for that, JJ. Anyways, my point is that some of these places aren't as seedy or bad as you think. That's just the ones that you see on movies to try to.
So no,
change
hold
your
on. So,
perception.
Or maybe the ones that Minshew might go
Not the
to.
right, that one. I wouldn't.
So what you're saying is
He's
the
gone now.
national narrative of Jacksonville's adult entertainment establishments are correct?
Most of them. Yes, I think there may be like one or two.
Okay.
But
okay.
Now, again, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying, like, when you make a lot of money, you tend to go to places that aren't as seedy, or you would hope.
Higher class.
That higher class. And then if this is his wife's birthday party, if she wanted ladies that can dance and entertainment, I'm sure it was pretty thorough. Now, I don't know. I didn't see any of the pictures. I don't know how jam-packed or how close it was. But everybody who's judging, think about what you just did this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't adhere to CDC guidelines and standards.
Just because your mom had clothes on.
Yeah, it doesn't make it any less different. I don't understand why people don't think that. Glitter, the glitter in the
COVID doesn't travel through surfaces or glitter.
Here's what happens at these places. Every time one of those young ladies does calisthenics,
They've done the research.
Every time one of them does calisthenics, up a pole, which is and acrobatics, they take alcohol and they have to wipe it down.
Yes, even pre-COVID.
Yes, they've always done this. The some of the other things, I'm just saying, like now, if he was out here you also can't get that close to him. It might not be 6 feet.
I'd argue.
Well, I mean, when they come to your hotel,
if they come to you,
well, they usually
and you
walk around.
And you get a dance.
Yes.
Then yes. But if she's on the stage, there is distance.
Absolutely.
Well, was he at a?
But they
No,
would
it
have
was at a club, right? It was at a hotel party.
So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But bottom line is, I
He stinks.
assume that he's really not any good per NFL standards. Don't come at me, Quincy. I don't know if he's good or not. I just know the team.
I missed on him. I thought he was actually going to be good. I went back and looked at some notes that I had done on him because I'd recorded this thing for somebody. And I went back and I'd pulled plays from Ohio State where he was doing like some really good stuff where it was pre-snap read. He knew where to take somebody to throw back across the field and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, like going back and looking at that, James, it did two things. One, it really made me like Ryan Day, but it kind of lowered my confidence in Justin Fields. Because if you look at Dwayne Haskins' numbers at Ohio State and go back and watch the film, I really think it's one of those things where if you said this guy stunk, either you really knew what you were talking about or you were just being a hater because his film was really good at Ohio State.
Yeah, I think just a lot of people they go with these narratives of different people. And they say, I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks. I don't like a player from here. You don't like, without judging who the people actually are.
Hey, I got another hit o'clock, actually. Jeremy Schaap, the columnist. And all of Jacksonville got onto him yesterday about this rant about how only in America do we reward losers with draft picks, right? And Jacksonville may hate me on this. Yeah, Jacksonville may hate me on this because the Jacksonville narrative was to attack him. Now, Mortensen, I don't have an answer for. But Schaap, all the Jag fans attacked Schaap about, well, you weren't saying this with the Jets. Well, actually, if you go back 2 weeks ago, he actually said the exact same thing about the Jets. Like, it is wrong that Trevor Lawrence is going to have to go to this Jets franchise who should be relegated. And that was his whole point, is everywhere else in the world, if you stink as bad as what the Jets have for an extended period of time, or even the Jags have for an extended period of time, you don't get rewarded, you get relegated. I actually am not hating on Shap. I disagree with the take out of just because I do like the sense of you can rebuild in the NFL. But I get the point, and he has been very consistent about this. And we always talk about as long as you're consistent, like we really can't argue with that. He was saying the same exact thing with the Jets that he was saying with the Jags. But I'm curious, what are y'all's thoughts on that? What are y'all's thoughts on that the America is the only place that really rewards losers with a better chance to win?
The NFL is really the only place that does that.
No, baseball does it.
All of them. The
Baseball
NBA
does
do
it.
it.
Basketball
NBA gives
does
you
it.
more. NBA is a lottery. It just gives you more.
That's true, but
draws.
when you're the bottom 4 teams, you have the same percentage to get the
right.
Like one of the worst
hockey does
4
it.
teams is probably going to get. Everybody in America does it. I think he was saying like, so what? You want us to make this a relegation league? Like it's kind of too late to do that. These are franchises; they're not clubs. So
Well,
you would have to have a lower division of teams and.
No, I got
like,
it.
how would
I
that
got it.
even work?
And I'm not necessarily saying I agree with what he's saying. I'm just saying.
Do you
if
think
your
there's a
take
better
on him-
way? Do you?
No. If your take on him as a Jaguar fan is bump this guy because he hates Jacksonville, he actually is a Jets fan and was.
Let me say this:
getting after it the same energy with the Jets.
America's the only place that you can live off your daddy's resume, and get a job.
That's very true.
I highly doubt that.
His dad is one of the most. His dad is one of the most respected sports writers that came.
Well, I know, but they're all over the world. There are like kings.
No, I'm just saying.
Queens,
I mean,
literally.
my thing
oil.
is, my point where I was going to get to that is that like there's you can't pick it. Well, you can, but picking and choosing the different types of welfare that you want to receive is kind of messed up. Like everybody deserves a leg up. I mean, not deserves. Everybody should have a chance. They don't always get it. A lot of teams don't even like practice really, really good with it. Some teams and franchises, some franchises have proven that they don't even need it. Like
James says that the Jags are on food stamps.
Basically, I mean, if you want to be honest with it, I mean, I'm happy about Trevor because that gives me something to talk about besides you stink every week. But so there's hope that they'll stink less. But like, it's easy to say that. Like, I mean, and I'm not suggesting that Shap didn't earn it. Like, he's pretty good with what he does as well. But, I don't care. That's what makes the NFL watchable. It's what kind of makes the NBA watchable. Just think about if that didn't happen and Cleveland didn't catch lightning in a bottle. Like, if the NBA didn't give Cleveland LeBron James when he came out.
You can go recent. You can go Zion.
Is
New
New
Orleans
Orleans that much better? I don't know.
With him last year, at the end, they made a playoff run.
I think they put him. They needed him to be.
That may be fair too. That JJ, how does that work in soccer? So, how long do you have to be bad to get relegated?
1 year. Like
so, you can
you
win the
win the league, and then the next year finish in the bottom 3, and you're down.
And then how long do you stay in that bottom 3?
Up until you get yourself back up. So like the next year you could be, one of the top 3 teams and go back up, which it rarely happens. Because most of the time if you get relegated, all your good players have stipulations in their contract that say, hey, if we get relegated, I'm out of here. So all your good players are out of there. And then you still have to pay wages. Like if you're in the NFL and you get relegated to the Premier League, you're still going to have to pay NFL wages for these guys, even though you're not making the same TV money. So like that, it screws a lot of clubs for years.
And Shad Khan's soccer team got relegated a few years ago, right?
Shad Khan's used to this. They're like Fulham's up and down. They call them a yo-yo club. They're up, they're down. So they're all right, but they're not like fixed in the top division all the time.
What I didn't realize until I started reading into this is overseas, like James, you can get relegated and then you can get relegated again to like an even lower
there's
division.
like 6 divisions.
Like you're three relegations from playing at the Y, bro.
The Jags would be in.
The Jags would definitely
at least the 3rd division.
Right now, they'd be in the American Conference.
Oh, it'd be the Jags in First Coast High School Friday night.
Hey, side note, have y'all seen the good memes? Like one person made one and they added us because they listen to our show. They know there's a particular player that we just really don't understand why he even exists.
Taven?
Yeah, Taven.
Oh, I knew it.
There was a picture of Taven. He was smiling. He was happy. Yeah, we got the #1 pick. We're going to get Trevor Lawrence. What do you mean I won't be here? I was like, yes.
Do y'all think that they let Trevor Lawrence cut Taven, or do you think that they do it themselves?
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Is that part of Trevor Lawrence's deal? Like you get to cut the bottom 5 guys.
I love that.
Like
You're
come
cool.
in,
You're cool. You're cool.
Yeah.
you're going to establish your leadership and dominance on this team. Go take care of Taven.
Oh, man.
Trevor the Turk.
They must all cater to Trevor Lawrence.
I'm actually
Hey, speaking of
let him pick the coach.
Speaking of Trevor, can we come back and I tell this story behind this tweet that surfaced today?
Sure.
Y'all saw the tweet, right? My tweet from 3 years ago.
Nostradamus.
Yes. And I actually want to tell, I didn't even think about it. I had mentioned to James and Hacker last night that I thought this tweet was out there, and then Lauren Brooks went and found it today. And she was the first one to tweet it because I didn't have the energy to go back 3 years ago. So I actually got a couple people that asked me, where were you when you sent that? It's actually kind of a dope story that I've had a bunch of people ask. So if y'all don't mind, when we come back, we'll get into that.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll be right back.
The home of Jacksonville University sports.
This is head coach Tony Jasick of your Jacksonville Dolphins. Don't miss any of the exciting hoops action this year. You can hear every game of the 2021 season right here on your home for JU Basketball 1010 XL.
Get ready for Jags at Home Sunday, a second screen viewing experience with Ashlyn Sullivan and Eric Dunn. Win weekly cash and prizes totaling more than $10,000. Visit jagsathome.com.
I want my Woody's barbecue.
Well, this is the last month of the year, and that's cause for celebration. High Flying Jacko here. We made it, virus haters. Woody's Barbecue serving it up low and slow, and if you didn't know, I'm their biggest fan. So in 2021, resolve to leave your old boring standby lunch and head to Woody's.
This is Woody Mills. Happy holidays from Woody's Barbecue.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Hey, Hickett here from my friends at Roof It Right. Head over to roofitRightFL.com and check out their warranties. Roof It Right offers the best warranties in the business, and they will be there to stand behind their work should you ever need to make a claim. Listen, folks, if trust is important, trust my friends at Roof It Right. You can schedule a free estimate today at roofitRightFL.com. That's roofitRightFL.com. See why your friends and neighbors say, Roof It Right, so you can sleep at night.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. My favorite part of the holidays is being with the people I love the most. Do you have someone special coming to visit you this holiday season? Do you want everything to look and feel just perfect? We at Zero Res would love to come help you do just that. We can clean your carpets, area rugs, tile and grout, sofas and chairs, and even clean and seal your granite countertops. Our schedule's filling up fast, so call us today. Right now, get your carpets cleaned for only $43 per room. And be sure to ask about the deal on tile and grout. Zero Res spelled forward and backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hick, we like two things. We like sports.
And we like to eat.
And when it comes to both, the more the better. That's why Daly's Dash is the perfect pit stop for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
And Jeff, what I like, they make mine extra special just for me with more meats.
Well, Dan, I think everyone gets that.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm positive. We all get more meats and cheeses when we go by the Daly's Dash, piled high on every sandwich. Perfect for Googans on the road.
Okay, well, what about the Hicken salad sandwich? You telling me that's not made just for me?
It's the chicken salad sandwich, so I'm guessing we can all enjoy that as well.
My Daly's Dash is the brand new one over there at JTB and Curtis.
I'm not sure it's your Daly's Dash, but yeah, it's a nice one. In fact, there are 20 Daly's Dash locations around town. So bigger, better sandwiches with more meats and cheeses are just around the corner.
Well, I'm a man of the people, and here to tell you, Daly's Dash is the sandwich of the people.
On that, I agree. And on special now, 2 piled high biscuits, 2 for $5. Daly's also sources and roasts their own top quality coffee beans.
Daly's Dash.
Because more is better.
It could get a little warm on the Roof It Right hot seat.
Would you mind not breathing fire on me?
When players and NFL experts join Jaguars today from 10 to noon on 1010XL. Roof It Right. Roof It Right so you can sleep at night.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In 2017, I was named the DUI Gladiator of the Year by the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Contractors, need concrete demoed and hauled off? Get that concrete the plunk out of there. Call Plunk's Concrete Recycling and Demo. We want to recycle that clean concrete and have a storage yard to take it on. Need a pump truck or concrete can? We rent them. Now hiring equipment operators and construction superintendents. Plunk's Concrete Recycling and Demo, 924-0006. Or online at CustomConcreteJacks.com. That's CustomConcreteJacks.com. Get that concrete the plunk out of there.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
This is Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Type in Sports Den at checkout to get 20% off. Don't know what cigars to get? Check out at Big Game James _36 on Instagram and Twitter. 12 days of sticks, 12 suggestions for you to be able to go increase your cigar selection. And guess what? You can get them all on thehumidor.com. What you got, Denny? You had a story to tell us.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Are you okay? Like, I mean,
yeah, I'm good.
I don't know what they said. COVID does have like memory loss. So, are you good?
You know what, man? What's crazy is when we got on here, I told you guys how I felt earlier in the day, and then when we started the show, I was feeling fine. And right now, it's like all of a sudden in the last 5 minutes, it feels like I've been hit by a bus again. Like it's so weird. But no, I'm good. I'm good. So I had this tweet, and I'm gonna pull up because of the it's crazy when you see the outreach that you can have over something as even as trivial as this. If I look at the analytics of this tweet, and I'll tell you what it is in a second, this thing had 700,000 impressions today and over almost 20,000 total engagements. This one tweet. And the tweet is from August 26th of 2017. I tweeted out with the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. And so I got a bunch of people asking me like, well, that was random. Why did you do that? And there's a couple things that make this a little bit less impressive. So I'm going to just spell those out right now because I don't want people to think like I'm being boastful about this, but I am taking advantage of the free followers. The first thing is, like James pointed out last night, I've been talking about Trevor since way before even that date. But this dates back to a Charlotte camp that I did with Elite 11 that Trevor was at. And at the time, and I still, to this day, I've never seen anybody throw a football like Trevor Lawrence. And I mean at any level, high school, college, NFL. I've never personally witnessed a kid for 8 hours burn a football the way Trevor Lawrence did against the best of the best. And so I came back and told James at that time, this kid's unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. Fast forward to August of that year, Bartram Terrell was playing Cartersville on ESPN. And I went to the game, and I was on the sideline. Joey Gatewood was the Bartram quarterback, and Riley Smith, who's at Boise State. And so the ESPN game with the matchup right before that, Emory Jones was playing, and so we kind of spent the day up there. And I'm sitting there watching this, at the time, 17-year-old, 6'5", phenom make throws that if I was grading out at the high school or at the NFL level, I would grade really, really high. Like things like James, he's sprinting, not rolling, sprinting out to the right, throws back across his body 50 yards and hits a dude in stride. They're running concepts at Cartersville, which is where he played, in the red zone that are reserved for like only the quarterbacks that can put a ball in a certain window that most quarterbacks can't at that or the college level. And you all know what I'm talking about. Like when you watch an NFL game, they get in the red zone, there's plays you only see at the NFL because that's the only league where the quarterback can put a ball in such a small window that it becomes a low-risk throw. And he was making those at 17 years old. So I'm sitting there on the sideline, and I'm like, okay, that combined with the fact that that was right before the Jags went to the AFC Championship, so they had sucked the year before. I was like, this could happen. I remember like this was yesterday. I remember standing there and being like, this kid's going to be the number 1 overall pick. There's no doubt. And then it just crossed my mind of this is Matt Stafford in high school. This is Peyton Manning in high school. Matt Stafford ended up not being as big at Georgia, but Matt Stafford was one of the biggest recruits ever at the quarterback position. And I remember just thinking, if Jacksonville got this guy, like this would be game-changing for an entire city and franchise back in 2017. So I tweeted it out, and I actually completely forgot about it till a couple days ago. And for whatever reason, I thought about, and it was one of those things where like, did I tweet that or did I not? And I was too lazy to go back and look at it. And thankfully, Lauren Brooks went and found it. But that's the story behind the tweet. And it ended up being one of the best high school games ever. Cartersville won by one score. Bartram into the game at like the 4-yard line.
I remember you talking about it. You had to go up there. You were like, you had to go follow your boy Joey. ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were like, I think you texted me while you were up there, like it was going back and forth.
Yeah, because they had cut the game because it started late. And Cartersville jumped out to, I'm going to get this wrong, but it was like a 28-point lead. And so ESPN actually had moved the game. And so I remember like texting you and some others going like, yo, y'all need to find this game because it's a tie ball game in the fourth quarter. And it was just one of those awesome games that didn't look like a high school. It looked like a college game because there were so many recruits on both sides. But I'm telling y'all, like this Trevor Lawrence kid, we're gonna spend the next couple months hyping this kid out or hyping this kid up. But what people need to realize is he's a whole different level than what a lot of the people before him that have been hyped up have been. There's things that he does naturally that just aren't done. And I'm talking anybody. I'm talking, you can go back to when Peyton Manning was coming out, and the knock on Peyton was, I'm not real sure about his arm strength. Like amazing timing, amazing anticipation, all that kind of stuff. Trevor Lawrence comes into the league with one of the top 5 to 7 arms in the league day one, like from jump. His decision making and his anticipation and his balance, crazy. I did some film study on him today that I'm going to release by the time I get done with this COVID stuff, of what Ohio State's been doing in the run game with him, or I'm sorry, what Clemson's been doing in the run game with him, James. You're going to be blown away, bro. Like they are not running concepts with him like he's a 6'6" quarterback. They're running the same concepts with him that Oklahoma was running with Kyler Murray. They're running some of the same stuff that you guys were trying to do with Jordan Travis. Like that's how good of an athlete and how good of a runner. He is not one of these tall, lanky, straight line speed guys. He can move horizontally. He's everything that people think he is, and I think a lot more than what people think he is.
I think I see what you're saying. He's not as much of a strider as what people think. Like he is a lot more agile than what you would expect for a big quarterback to be, a tall quarterback to be. Excuse me. Like the just to put it down in a very simplistic terms, the taller you are, the harder it should be for you to be agile.
Right.
Even the harder it should be for you to accelerate. Like what makes Usain Bolt so dynamic and crazy is that he should not be that explosive. His reaction time should not be that. When they broke it down, his time out the blocks, Bolt was like 6'5", if I remember correctly, was the same as Walter Dix of Florida State, who is it was like 5'10" at most. Like it should be like Walter Dix should get out the blocks faster than him because it's more bunched up. But I think what Trevor Lawrence has, and I don't know if this is the coaches that have taught him this or just common sense, is he has a great sense of angles and where he needs to go. And it's a lot of different plays we could point out, but none more than about a year ago in the playoff game against Ohio State when he breaks the long run.
Today.
When he breaks the long run. Mm-hmm. If you look what he did, it wasn't like shifty like Kyler Murray, like, I pull it, I got to juke somebody. Nah, he knew exactly where he had to get to and how to get there. And then once he got to the spot, he just let his strides do the talking, or do the walk.
But even that play, that's one of the plays that I saw today. Even that play, if you watch that play, that was a Mike read on his part. and he saw they were in man coverage, and when the running back went right and the Mike climbed over the top to get the running back and he left the middle of the field open, that's when Trevor took off. And if you watch those, to your point, if you watch those first 10 to 15 yards, don't pay attention to the last 30 because he's tall and he should do that. Those first 10 to 15 yards, there was legitimately a linebacker and a very athletic defensive end that took 2 or 3 steps and stopped because he pulled away from them so quickly.
Right.
That's the crazy part. And it's the same thing with the mechanics. Like the taller you are, the bigger you are, the harder mechanics are. For him, it's effortless. And it's just one of those things like the kid has it. It's whatever it is, whatever he's asked to do, they do. And a ton of credit to Clemson, man. But the more I watch what Clemson has done with him offensively, and the shift even his freshman year they were able to make from Kelly Bryant to him, and what they ask him to do and all the different reads and options that they give him, you can't defend that. Like the only way that you can defend a guy like him in an offense like Clemson has entrusted him with, and I think they're going to do the same thing with DJ, is you better be so much better than that other team with your front four and your corners can just lock up and man, that you're counting on 2 people whipping them every single time. Otherwise, you don't have a prayer. That's how many options they have on every play, man.
Yeah. Well,
that's all you got to say about that.
That's all I got to say. I mean, he's a good athlete. I mean, I don't want to keep hyping him up and then he disappoint me. But at the same time, there's nothing to report bad about him right now. He can do. He's definitely he's a really good overall prospect. He's a damn good athlete. Damn good athlete.
Last Friday night when you weren't there, JJ made this statement about how he's not even a Jags fan, but this excites him. Like, JJ, will you be even more so dialed into these Clemson games now?
Well, I will be regardless. My parents are Clemson graduates. They're obsessed. So I watch all the Clemson games anyway. But I will be praying for him not to tear his ACL. I kind of hope they lose in the semifinal game.
Yeah,
just go ahead and let him get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
He throws for like 500 yards, but they lose.
I don't even care. I mean, what can he do for you to even change your mind? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. No, there's nothing. And like the whole bowl game thing, with the news out of Florida today, the only one out of that group that I'm really kind of scratching my head, Kadarius Toney has earned every right. There's nothing else that he can do that would improve his draft status. He needs to come out. Like that's good. Copeland's got COVID. Copeland, that's not an opt-out.
Right.
Copeland that's been rumored for the past couple of weeks. The Trevon Grimes thing, I'm a little confused by that one, James. Like, I think Grimes may be getting bad advice because I think Grimes has the potential to be a first-round receiver if he would stick around and be the guy for a year. But I would be willing to put good money that he does not go before the 5th round this year.
Ooh. I think he hopes to be in a good the position that what was the receiver that left last year?
Van Jefferson?
Yeah.
He was a first-round pick or second round.
Van?
Oh, no, never mind.
The one went to the Rams who barely made it?
Yeah, by the way, Blake Bortles got signed today off the practice squad for the Rams. But
Van Jefferson was taken in the 2nd round. Yeah, I was right.
Was he really?
With the Rams?
But look at give me Van Jefferson's measurables though.
6'1", 200.
Yeah, I'm looking up Trevon Grimes right now. I want to say Grimes is like a 6'4" cat. That is like everything that he's 6'4", 220. It's like every single thing that you want in an NFL receiver, but has he shown enough at Florida to where a team's going to go in the 1st round? Yeah, that is our dude. I really think if he came back and had a year, it's not going to get any worse because he's still going to be 6'4", 240 next year or 220 next year. If he came back and he had one of those 65 catch years where he's going up and getting balls and being consistent, he's basically Kyle Pitts. Now that Pitts is gone, I think he would climb into a top, 1st round pick. I think he's making a major mistake in costing himself literally millions of dollars. I'm telling you, I'll be shocked if he goes before the 5th round.
I just
Same, by the way, got same thing going to Tallahassee with Tamara and Terry. Now he don't need to go back to Florida State. How much money did he cost himself coming back?
You should. Yeah, if he was going to leave, he should have left last year. He should definitely come back. Like,
there's no doubt.
But
there's no doubt. Like, it's stupid to leave now.
I think his was just. I mean, honest with you, I think Mike is pretty much putting his foot down on a lot of guys.
Yeah, but don't you think if Terry entered the portal and Terry went,
I think Terry could have gone to any school he wanted to, if he would.
Right, if he goes somewhere and just has a semblance of what he is.
Wide receiver number 2, wide receiver number 3, and had a great year.
James, he may go undrafted, bro.
I think he gets drafted, but I think he's low. It really depends. It all depends on what he has to run, and he has to look great at the combine, and that's a short amount of time to for a guy who's been battling injuries. And I'm gonna be real with you, has not looked explosive this year. So I have no idea. But I do know some of these guys were asked to look into better possibilities.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, the guy that gets all the headlines about his decision is JJ's boy down in Miami, the quarterback. What's his name?
King.
Yeah, King? Like what else was he gonna do?
Yeah.
Play wide out for the Jags.
Yeah, I don't even. I mean, here's what I do think, and this is why I like King. King should be who everybody who likes college falls in love with. Here's a guy who just really loves the experience. He likes being quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes. He's probably going to be a rock star next year.
Yeah, we love him.
I mean, I just thought it was funny that how people were like, "Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back." Back.
Like I told.
Was that ever really a doubt?
I told somebody there was a fan who said Jake Garcia, for FSU taking Mackenzie Milton, took them out of the Jake Garcia conversation. And I'm like, that's one. We were never in the Jake Garcia conversation, no matter what the media tried to write you. I said there was again, my guy JJ, not this JJ, but my other guy JJ with 247 told y'all in August that he was decommitting from USC and going to Miami. But whatever.
Based on some solid information from people
based on solid information that he might have got from a big black guy with dreads. My point is that if he was going to come to Florida State, he was going to come no matter what because King is coming back. They're like, well, you don't know that. I said, no. I know King is coming back. So he's going to Miami knowing that there's going to be he's not going to be the starting quarterback next year unless something bad happens.
It's almost like you've got this girlfriend and that's the only option you have. And people are shocked when you say, you know what, I'm going to stay with this one. Like that's the De'Aaron King thing. Like he didn't have another girl trying to get him. It wasn't, and he's a great college player. He's not Kyler Murray. Right. He wasn't going to be a first-round pick or even a pick. He probably gets, like JJ said, he probably gets an undrafted free agent deal to try to play receiver for the Montreal, whatever it is, Canadians.
Alouettes.
Okay, that's
but
where he ends up.
Because he was a senior, he sort of had to announce that he was coming back.
No, I got it.
It's not like
I
this
was
is
just
a junior announcing that he's
It's a
coming
win
back. This
for
is a
Miami.
guy who's
JJ.
already 28 years
No matter
old.
what, it's a win for Miami.
Yeah,
it's a huge win for Miami.
And going back to the Coastal looks really, really good. If everything goes back to normal was. Listen,
Bro, I know we got a break. If we got time, we got to talk about Notre Dame and the impact on the ACC. Did you see the rating stuff today?
Nah, but let's talk about that with a little bit of time we have on the other side.
I'm Mike Dempsey, and this fall, Mark Brunell joins me every Tuesday at 11 o'clock on Jaguars Today, thanks to Armor Guard Exteriors. Join us then to hear what the former quarterback has to say about the home team on 1010 XL.
Celebrate the end of this crazy year and look forward to a more normal 2021 with a visit this week to Diamonds Direct. Now through January 2nd, we've extended our special 4-year zero-interest holiday finance offer so you can pick any item, get the guaranteed best value price, and spread your payments over 4 years with zero interest. It's a great week to shop Diamonds Direct. Guys, maybe you need a Christmas do-over gift after thinking a new robot vacuum cleaner was a good idea. Or maybe you're getting engaged over New Year's weekend or upgrading her diamond. Whatever the reason, we've got you covered with the best selection and the best prices and a completely no-risk shopping environment. And yes, through January 2nd, you can still take advantage of our incredible holiday finance offer. 4 years, zero interest on anything and everything, so you can splurge without breaking the bank. Start the new year with some new excitement, new hope, and some new bling. Happy New Year 2021 from your friends at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
The 2021 First Tee North Florida Tour Card is your ticket to all of the best golf courses in North Florida. Each tour card is only $99 and directly contributes to programs building character, instilling life-enhancing values, and promoting healthy choices through the game of golf. Tour card members have access to play at 17 participating courses throughout the 2021 calendar year. With the tour card, you'll save over $1,000 to play these courses. Get yours today at tourcard.org.
If you're a man over 45, have frequent urination, an urgent need to go, a weak flow, or waking at night to urinate, it's time to consider UroLift. This is Dr. West, urologist with McKeever Clinic. UroLift is a non-invasive outpatient procedure with minimal downtime. If you suffer from an enlarged prostate and want to avoid the sexual side effects of medication and invasive surgery, UroLift may be for you. Contact McKeever Clinic at 355-6583. That's 355-6583.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Stay connected to Gainesville with the Florida Gator Report with Lauren Brooks.
Go, Gator!
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
A big win for the Florida Gators.
Get your Gators on 1010XL.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now that Casual Friday is casual every day, how about some new logoed polo shirts, maybe custom boxers and bathrobes? Online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Big Finish event.
Deep discounts aren't just for our employees. Get the insider's deal you've been waiting for when you get your next new car or truck at Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Bay Meadows. Drive a brand new Jeep Cherokee Latitude from just $239 a month. That's like $8 a day. Save $4,000 off MSRP on a new Dodge Journey, or get up to $5,000 off Compass. Get a new Dodge Charger and drive it home from just $329 a month. Every new Ram truck is sale price to save you more through the end of this year. And end it, we must buy the truck of the year 3 times in a row and save up to $11,000 off MSRP. Wait, that's not all. Get 0% for more savings. Make no payments for the next 90 days. Less than perfect credit. Our lenders want to make you a new car loan at the best rates available. Call us to schedule a test drive, or we can bring the test drive to you. Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on Quicken Loans. Internal data. Points and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Number 3030.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
I tell you the difference between me and them. They trying to get their
You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
The Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Thehumidor.com, the go-to place to get your cigars. Type in Sports Den for 20% off. Also, some of y'all need to go by ABC and just ABC and chill. Reach up to the top. New Year's Eve's coming soon. Get you some Prosecco for the ladies, or some Champel. Probably, just pop bottles, man. Like, live life. Enjoy.
I like that. I like that advice, especially for the New Year's. Yeah,
I know what I'm doing for my New Year's Eve, and it's listening to the Frangie Show.
Yes, 4 to 7 right here, or 4 to 6, 4 to 7.
3 to 6.
3 to 6 and 4 to
3 to 6.
Okay,
JJ
never mind. 3 to 6. I forgot I was working.
Yeah, 3 to 6 New Year's Eve, the Sports Den takeover of the Frangie Show. I'll be on tomorrow at 4 o'clock with them as well, and then we will have the regular time on Wednesday. There was this interesting tidbit that came out today on college football ratings. One, they're way down from last year to this year. But the bigger thing, the number one rated game in this college football season was Clemson-Notre Dame, the first matchup. The first matchup. The second matchup was number 2. This is all college football. After that, the SEC dominates. And then the next time we see an ACC school is Notre Dame UNC. The only time that ACC schools are in this top 10 is Notre Dame is involved. The ACC is going to have to give them whatever they want, but, bro, the ACC needs to get them on board. There's not another Clemson game on here. There's not a Florida State game. There's not a Miami game. There's not a Miami-Florida State game. It's all Notre Dame.
Well, a lot of it also has to do with where they relegated a lot of the games, especially the FSU games and the Miami games. A lot of being on regional television. But Notre Dame is a brand. They need to be in the ACC. And the ACC needs to expand and get into the New York, the Houston markets. There's some good teams that are around there in this group of 5 that they can bring in that will help the conference and grow over time. Because right now, that SEC money, Big Ten money is getting too big. But anyways, we got to go. Get better, Denny. I'm at Big Game James _36. Go to thehumidor.com, type in sports, then get 20% off. See y'all Wednesday.
Down by somebody. It's just a neighborhood, no good.
Making the game last a little longer.
Join me, Hacker, and me,